Layoffs are hurting Americans, but the worst is still on the way. This is according to a recent headline in Fox Business publication. A Silicon Valley insider warns hiring freezes and layoffs among big tech could impact most Americans' income. And America's midterm elections are only a few days away. And when voters hit the polls on November 8th, the surging prices and annual inflation of over 8% will be a huge importance in their voting decisions, with the cost of weekly shopping dominating voters' daily lives and wallets, crippling paychecks and savings accounts and credit card balances and limits. Inflation fueled by colossal economic stimulus authorized, approved, and signed for by the presidents before Russia's invasion of Ukraine sent prices spiraling up even further, which is why I am continuing to build up reserves and secure my family with a strong financial prep through budgeting, savings, investing, and building businesses and multiple income streams. And I'm currently engaged in several communications and negotiations to connect companies and brands with other creators and influencers so they too can start building up their income earning potentials as well. And for those out there interested in gaining access to capital, funding, loans, and exploring options regardless of your current credit score and previous credit history, make sure you check out the link in the description of this video. And if you would like me to bring you more updates, links, and connect you with more companies out there that can help families bridge the widening gap of inflation-induced financial stress and struggle, just comment down below and let me know that you guys are interested. If this video gets enough comments to prove that is in fact what you want, I'll make sure to make that video next. All right, so major tech companies have taken steps to cut their workforce in anticipation of an economic downturn in the coming months. Microsoft, for example, recently announced layoffs across multiple divisions, and Meta implemented a hiring freeze. This Fox Business article included a warning that said, when the Microsofts, the Googles, the Amazons, the Twitters, when those companies start laying off people, that's when we need to start paying attention, which I suppose is now. As a recent Los Angeles Times article reported, Twitter employees brace for massive layoffs as Elon Musk completes his acquisition. And so after 6 months of wrangling and delaying tactics, Elon Musk's deal to buy Twitter finally closed late Thursday. This has left Twitter employees facing a much different picture than they once contemplated back in April. And the LA Times also mentioned that Elon Musk has told potential investors he plans to cut Twitter staff of roughly 7,500 employees to just over 2,000. Ouch. And according to Albert Chan, a San Francisco Bay Area native with a huge following of workers, job seekers, recruiters, and employers on his rapidly growing community, he says things are definitely going to get worse before they get better. Here, take a look.
We're going through a lot of uncertainty in the technology industry right now. I'm looking at the general 10,000-foot view. I think that things are going to get a little bit worse before they get a little bit better.
Albert told Fox Business that we're going through a lot of uncertainty in the technology industry right now, and that given where our inflation report keeps going, and also given what he thinks he's hearing from job seekers within his community, he thinks the worst is still on its way. And so as a recession looms and as Americans grapple with the worst inflation in 40 years, tech companies could see demand for their products dry up. And this could be very bad for a lot of people. Don't expect any government bailouts to come to the rescue either. A lot of blood could be shed as a result of this one. A deep, long, and harsh recession coupled with hyperinflation and a global wipeout of low-income and middle-income families without savings, investments, and other resources in place to replace, supplement, and or produce income. Perhaps this is just yet another warning sign. When you see article headlines like this, Lewis Hamilton sells his $25 million Candy Red jet. The rising price of petroleum-based fuels, including jet fuels, and rapidly rising global inflation affects everyone in some way. And I'm including a link in the description to a list provided by Intelligence that they released a couple weeks ago with a compilation of companies that have announced major layoffs and hiring freezes. Go check that out after you watch this video and see if the company that you work for made the list. Some notable mention from the list includes International Distribution Services, Oracle, Clear Capital, Gap, Nordstrom, Amazon, Credit Suisse, Xiaomi, Wayfair, Ford, Rivian, Tonal, Tesla, Ohio Health, Spotify, HelloFresh, and Peloton, to name a few. And Peloton has been making headlines since the beginning of the pandemic, and now for some not so great reasons. CNN Business reports Peloton is undergoing another round of layoffs to save the company. So this is Peloton's fourth round of layoffs this year, with about 500 jobs being eliminated as a troubled exercise company looks to cut costs to improve its bottom line. So this is what I've been telling you guys about for a while now, folks. Tightening budgets and spending less in the event that you can't make more. These big companies, businesses, and corporations, they do it too. And if you're running a business and haven't taken a close look at your budget, then you may be setting yourself up for major economic and financial failure, especially especially with employees being typically the most expensive overhead operating carrying costs for most businesses ever. So Peloton shared a memo with CNN Business that told employees this is a necessary step if we're going to save Peloton. Peloton's retail operations has lost more than $100 million last year, and the company announced in August that it was closing a substantial amount of its 86 retail stores in North America. So these layoffs amount to 12% of its staff, leaving the company with nearly 4,000 employees, but that is less than half the number of employees it had at its peak in 2021. Ouch. And according to a report from the Wall Street Journal, cuts are company-wide. However, they are heaviest in their marketing operation. So this makes sense on why they are shutting down physical retail locations and terminating in-house employees. And all the more reason why social media influencers, brand ambassadors, and content creators are increasingly more valuable to struggling companies like Peloton, who are trying to save money and increase sales by reaching their target market and consumers. And if you want to know how you can align yourself with companies like Peloton and pull in hundreds and even thousands of dollars and possibly even receive free products like a Peloton bike, just click the link in the description. So this growing labor problem is continuing down the path of an epic SHTF reality, with even small towns and non-tech based companies feeling the squeeze. WPR.org reports 210 to be laid off in Wausau as Foot Locker closes longtime Central Wisconsin sneaker distribution center, and said layoffs will begin in late January and the center will close by the end of April. Losing 210 jobs in a small town can be devastating. And if it were me, I would be grinding and hustling hard so that I was well prepared ahead of January 2023. Meanwhile, Forbes reports Adidas implements hiring freeze amid split with Kanye. Fortunately, at this time, Adidas suggested it does not plan to conduct layoffs after it cut ties with hip-hop mogul Ye, who forfeited a multi-billion-dollar business that had become increasingly problematic in recent years. Now, I expect to see things get real interesting with more Kanye West-related news developments in the coming weeks and months. So I will keep an eye on him and I'll report back to you guys ASAP. So in the meantime, we must plan and prepare to position ourselves and our families to survive this looming economic and potentially devastating threat to our income, our savings, our livelihood, and ability to provide food, shelter, and life's necessities as we push through this recession and possible economic collapse. WR TechWire 20 layoff watch, job cuts top 44,000 in tech sector, 90,000 among startups, and Walmart notifies state of expected layoffs from store closing after having already recently announced Walmart to lay off about 1,500 workers at an Atlanta fulfillment center. So Walmart confirmed to Reuters that it was cutting its workforce at the distribution facility south of Atlanta and that workers have been notified of their expected terminations. Meanwhile, the scheduled Walmart store closing in Pittsburgh is expected to result in 129 jobs lost. The company has filed notice with the state after announcing the plan to close the store after nearly 20 years. So folks, our local, regional, national, and global economic climate is changing, and this evolutionary reset is setting the stage for a huge wipeout of families as it shuts down their income, dries up their savings, and forces many to homelessness and food shortages and food insecurities from high prices and making life's necessities ultimately unaffordable. The lower income, middle class, working class, poor, the folks out there who are one paycheck away from being homeless and have little to no savings, no available credit or even a credit card at the very least, and zero backup plan for just the smallest hiccup, unexpected expense, or major emergency like a transmission replacement on your car or truck, major appliance failure like a refrigerator, or something as simple as and as trivial as a flat tire or two. Now is the time, if you haven't already, to prepare you and your family for the financial struggles and burden that is only going to continue to grow increasingly harder over the next few years at the very least. So this is why I'm continuing to build up reserves and secure my family with a strong financial prep through budgeting, savings, investing, and building businesses in multiple income streams. And I'm currently engaged in several communications and negotiations to connect companies and brands with other creators and influencers so they too can start building up their income earnings potentials too. And for those out there interested in gaining access to capital, funding, loans, and exploring options regardless of your current credit score and previous credit history, make sure you check out the link in the description after this video. And if you would like me to bring more updates, links, and connect you with more companies out there that can help families bridge the widening gap of inflation-induced financial stress and struggle, just comment down below and let me know you're interested. If this video gets enough comments to prove that is what you guys are actually interested in, I'll make sure to make that video next. So make sure you watch this video and check out the Economic Money and Finance playlist. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on notifications, give this video a like, comment, share. You guys take care, be safe. I'll see you real soon. Bye.